Hello, my name is Vanessa Singh, and I'm going to be talking about distributed database. What is distributed database? Think of multiple CPUs that are distributed at several sites, communicating slowly by optical fiber network or satellite networks with no sharing of physical components. This database that is operating in such environment is known as distributed database. Distributed database can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. In a homogeneous distributed database system, all the physical locations have the same underlying hardware and run the same operating system and database application. In a heterogeneous distributed system, each site is a database system site that has its own right and has its own local users, its own local database management system, and its own local data communication manager. Each site has its own transaction management software, including its own local logging, and recovery software. However, the users on one computer can access to data stored in several other computers. Therefore, each machine will act as a server for some users and a client for others. There are two most commonly used type of distributed database. Those are relational database and non-relational database. With the relational database management system, most databases in use today are based on a relational database model invented by Edgar F. Codd of IBM San Jose Research Laboratory. It has a simple logical structure that is based on the core concept of relation. It stores data in tables and rows. It follows a strict schema as it has fixed numbers of columns and rows. Before we write data into a relational database, we have to know upfront what the structure and the schema of the data is. Non-relational database is suited more for those who commonly handle huge volumes of data, where if this large data is processed in a relational database system, the system will start getting slow in terms of response time. In a distributed database system, the database load is distributed on multiple hosts as the load increases. It does not follow a strict schema like a relational database model. A non-relational database allows you to apply data without knowing what the structure or schema of the data is upfront, meaning you can store data even though it doesn't have a category for it yet. To figure out what best options suit for the project that you are working for, it's best to evaluate the backend landscape and conduct a review. Distributed database systems are similar to client-server architecture in a number of ways. Both typically involve the use of multiple computer systems and enable users to access data from remote systems. However, like everything in life, there are advantages and disadvantages of distributed database system. Sharing of data, where users at one site may be able to access the data residing at other sites, at the same time retaining control over the data at their own site. Increase efficiency and improve performance. For processing by keeping the data close to the point where it is most frequently used. Efficient management of distributed data with different level of transparency. Increase local autonomy, where each site is able to retain degree of control over data that are stored locally. Increase accessibility, by allowing to access data between several sites, for example, say accessing an account of New Delhi from sitting at New York and vice versa, via communication network. Increase availability, in which if one site fails, the remaining site may be able to continue operating. Increase reliability due to greater accessibility. Easier expansion with the growth of organization in terms of adding more data, increasing database sites, or adding more CPUs. Parallel evaluation by subdividing a query into subqueries involving data from several sites. Now, the disadvantages of distributed database are recovery of failure is more complex. There is an increased complexity in the system design and implementation. There is increased transparency leads to a compromise between ease of use and the overhead cost of providing transparency. There is increased software development costs, greater potential for bugs, technical problem of connecting dissimilar machine, difficulty in database integrity control, and lastly, security concern of replicated data in multiple locations and the network. There is ton of information more about distributed database that you cannot fit in a 3-minute video. But if you would like to know more information about distributed database system, you can follow my reference listed here. Thank you for watching.